All right, so picture this, okay? You just walked into your new favorite place, like maybe it's, a bookstore, one with that, like, perfect lived-in smell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or maybe a gym where everyone's, like, crazy pumped even though it's 6 a.m. You just, like, feel at home.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah?
like that feeling right there. That's what we're going to be, chasing today. We're talking member satisfaction.
I love it.
And it's perfect. You sent us this awesome resource, 38 membership survey questions for accurately measuring member satisfaction.
Oh, yeah, by Manzar Mashhead. That's a good one.
Yeah, so that's what we're diving deep into today. We're going
Yeah.
to see how it unlocks that happier, more engaged member base,
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, and you know what I think is really interesting about this whole topic? It's like about way more than just, smiles and pats on the back. It's like there's a real business case to be made here. Organizations that really, truly put their members first, they don't just survive, they thrive.
Oh, for sure. I bet there's some hardcore data to back that up.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, the guide actually cites this study. And get this, 70%, right? 70% of members who feel valued, like they matter, they end up sticking around.
Wow.
Think about it. If you're constantly like scrambling to replace members because they're, jumping ship left and right,
Yeah.
you're spending way more time and money than if you just kept them happy from the get-go.
Right. Okay. That's like huge.
Yeah.
So we're not just talking about like making people feel warm and fuzzy. This is about like the bottom line.
Exactly. And here's the other thing. When your members are actually like genuinely thrilled, right, to be a part of whatever it is you're building, they basically become like your own personal hype squad.
Oh, yeah.
They tell their friends, they're shouting it from the rooftops online. We're talking like word of mouth marketing on steroids.
Okay. So we're talking like members sticking around, costs going down, and basically free marketing. All because people are happy.
Right.
It's like starting to see the light here. But, okay, let's get practical. This guide that you mentioned, it's not like just a random bunch of questions all jumbled together, is it?
No way, not at all. It's actually really smartly put together, organized into these categories, and each one is made to, shine a light on a different part of what the member experiences. So, like, you've got sections like getting to know your members, which, okay, might sound kind of basic at first.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But trust me, understanding, like, who your people are, that is step one, always.
Right.
And then it goes deeper. You've got assessing member satisfaction, and then, this is my favorite, understanding member needs and preferences.
Ooh, that last one. I like that one. Sounds like we're going to be putting on our detective ads for that one. But okay, before we get like lost in the weeds here, why is it so important that it's, categorized this way? Why not just like take all 38 questions, throw them in a blender and see what we get?
Because then you would just have like this big confusing smoothie of information and it wouldn't really tell you anything, right? Think about it like building a house. You wouldn't just start like nailing random pieces of wood together and hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
There's a blueprint, right? You got to focus on the foundation first, then the walls, then the roof. Each one of these categories in this guide, it's like a blueprint for a different part of member satisfaction.
Okay, I like that. That's a really good analogy.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. So instead of this big mess, we get like this clear, organized way to understand what's up with our members. I'm into it. Let's dig in. Where do we start?
All right, so let's kick things off with one that seems, deceptively simple, right? Question number 2. How did you hear about us?
Right.
So it might seem kind of basic on the surface, but trust me, this little question, it packs a punch.
Really? It seems like, one of those questions you see on like a clipboard in a waiting room or something. What's like the hidden depth there?
This question, my friend, is like your marketing crystal ball, right? This is how you figure out which of your like awesome outreach efforts are, making a splash and which ones are just belly flopping.
Okay.
Like, are people finding you on social media? Are they like telling all their friends after they come to one of your events?
Right.
This question has those answers.
Okay, so it's way more about strategy than just like being curious. It's about using those answers to make decisions.
Exactly. Like, let's say you find out that a ton of your members, they first heard about you through like a podcast interview you did.
Right.
Well, that tells you that, hey, maybe you need to spend a little more time and energy on those types of things.
Yeah, it's like you're shining a spotlight on what's actually working.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks.
There you go. You got it. All right, you ready to dive into one that's a little more, well, shall we say revealing? All right, question 20, buckle up. Are there any policies or procedures that make it hard for you to, actually use our services or enjoy being a member. So this one might feel a little, intimidating to ask,
Yeah.
but I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to get this feedback.
Yeah, I can see how that one could uncover some, like, uncomfortable stuff.
Yeah.
But better to, like, right. So what are we hoping to learn here?
Okay, this question is all about finding those like little sneaky speed bumps that are tripping people up,
Mm.
like maybe your website's a nightmare to use, or maybe like signing up for an event feels like, I don't know, rocket science or something. All those little things that, can really make or break someone's experience.
Oh, I've totally been there. There's nothing more annoying than when you, like, really want to be a part of something, but then all their processes are just so
And
complicated.
and here's the thing. Most of the time, it's not like organizations are, trying to make things difficult on purpose. It just kind of happens. That's why this question is so great. It brings those pain points to light so you can, smooth things over, make it a better experience for everyone.
It's like, what's the word? It's like doing an audit on your organization, but, like, from your members' point of view.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I'm curious about the last question in this section, though. It seems almost too open-ended,
Oh, yeah.
but maybe that's the point.
Yeah.
Question 33. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us? It just feels very like anything goes.
But see, that's the beauty of the open-ended question. It's like a wild card. You're giving your members the floor to say whatever's on their mind. You might be surprised by what they come up with.
It's like leaving out a blank canvas and being like, all right, tell me what you think.
Exactly. I actually, I worked with an organization once, and because of this one question, this very question right here, they found out that a huge chunk of their members were looking for more chances to do like professional development workshops and stuff. They never would have known if they hadn't just asked.
Oh, wow. That's a perfect example of how those, like, open-ended questions can be so useful.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that saying, what is it? Like, sometimes the questions are more important than the answers.
Yes.
Okay, so we got all these great answers. Now what? What do we actually do with them?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And the good news is that this guide doesn't leave us hanging. It really stresses how important it is to have a plan for, making sense of all this feedback. And then here's the key part, actually doing something with it.
Because, I mean, let's be real, having a survey and not doing anything is kind of like, having a recipe but never actually making the food.
You got it.
So it's like, okay, we did this survey, we got all this info, now we got to actually, like, cook the meal, right?
100%. And step one is, digging into that data.
Right.
And okay, I know for some people, data analysis sounds about as fun as like watching grass grow,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be a drag, I promise. The trick is to not get like totally lost in every single response,
Right.
Look for the big picture stuff. What are the things people keep saying over and over again? What do they love? What do they hate? What do they wish you would do?
So instead of focusing on that one person who said you need, like, a nap room, we're looking for stuff that, like, everyone's saying.
Exactly. Like, are people saying they want more social events? Do they wish your website had a contact us button?
Right.
Find those common threads. Then, once you've got them, it's time to prioritize. You can't change everything overnight, right?
Right.
So what are those things you can do that'll make a big difference without having to, like, completely reinvent the wheel?
So those high-impact, low-effort things.
Yes. Maybe it's something as easy as adding a frequently asked questions page to your website. Or, like you said, making it so people can actually figure out how to sign up for events.
Exactly.
Those little things can go a long way. And then, and this is so important, you got to close the loop.
What do you mean?
Tell your members, like, hey, we heard you, and here's what we're doing about it. Yeah.
That's huge. So it's not just about, like, getting their feedback and then disappearing. It's about showing them that you're actually listening.
It's about making them feel like they're part of the process, right?
Right.
Like their voices actually matter.
Because they do.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. We've covered a ton today. We went from, like, a stack of survey questions to, like, a whole plan for building a better, member experience.
I told you, member satisfaction is powerful stuff.
It really is. Well, that just about wraps up our deep dive on member satisfaction. But hey, listener, before you go, here's a little something to think about, okay? We've been talking a lot about surveys, right?
Right.
But what are some other ways, to get that feedback to keep those conversations going with your members? Maybe it's quick little polls in your emails, or maybe you put a suggestion box out at your next event, or even just, like, chatting with people,
I love that. Just being open to hearing what people have to say.
Exactly. Because every conversation is a chance to learn and grow.
Couldn't agree more.
All right, everyone. That's it for today's deep dive. Go out there and make those members happy.